There's no better rivalry in New York college basketball than Iona Manhattan. These two charter members of the MAAC meet in the conference final for a third straight year. The Gales won the title in 2013. The Jaspers cut down the nets last year. Again, it's Iona Manhattan next. You're watching ESPN's Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We're at the MAAC Championship. Manhattan versus Iona at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. These two teams advanced to the semifinal round yesterday here in Albany, with Iona doing it in historic fashion, while the Jaspers took the Peacocks of St. Peter's out 65-48. And how good is this rivalry? Well, Jaspers head coach Steve Masiello says, quote, "I've played in Kentucky, Louisville. There's no difference in the feelings." And welcome everybody to the Times Union Center. Doug Sherman along with former Boston College Eagle Malcolm Huckabee. So glad you could join us for this MAAC championship. And for the third straight year, we've got the Gales against the Jaspers. And you'll have an opportunity to see in Iona one of the best offenses you will ever see.
Doug, you are right. Iona is not only one of the best offensive clubs in the MAAC, but in the country. They average close to 80 points per game, shot close to 40% from the three-point line, and they made close to 11 threes per game. And in their last outing, a win versus Monmouth, they made 19 threes and shot 46% from the three-point line. They are very good on offense.
And Malcolm, as impressive as those 19 made threes were yesterday, we want to show everyone to you this way.
And in transition, they are lethal from beyond the arc. A key in this game, Manhattan must find the three-point shooters from Iona in transition. They are very good at spreading you out, make or miss, and then finding open shooters on the perimeter.
Isaiah Williams knocked down the most. In fact, his 9 made threes, a MAAC tournament record. Starting lineup for the Jaspers: Rashawn Storrs, Donovan Cage, Shane Richards, Emmy Andujar, their go-to guy, and Ashton Pankey, a Maryland transfer who provides tremendous presence inside. And for the Gales, take your pick. Every one of them is dangerous. A.J. English averaging 20 a game. David Lowry, the MAAC Player of the Year, averaging 20 a game. And there's Isaiah Williams, as hot as anybody in the country coming into this championship game. The winner will cut down the nets in this rivalry game between two campuses separated by just 9 miles. They've come upstate to decide things here in 2015.
Doug, another key, I think, point in this game. Iona not very deep, not a very deep bench. Fatigue could play a factor late in the second half in this game against Manhattan.
The Jaspers lose track of Amayo, and 9 seconds into the game, the Gales are on the board. As the number 3 seed, the Jaspers are in their road green uniforms. Iona, the regular season champs, wearing their home whites.
Nice job that time by Kelvin Amayo, trying to deny Shane Richards, Manhattan's best three-point shooter, one of the best three-point shooters in the MAAC conference, Shane Richards, and Kelvin Amayo, one of the best defenders in the MAAC conference, on him. That's another key matchup in this game.
Lowry from the high post, so dangerous. Able to do that, able to set up his teammates, and that's why he is the Conference Player of the Year.
Doug, he is a matchup nightmare. In his 27 games, last 27 games, he's had 17 double-doubles, averaging close to 20 points per game, 9.8 rebounds. This guy could flat-out play.
Meanwhile, Richards, the all-time three-point shooter in Manhattan program history, has the Jaspers on the board.
But that's a breakdown by Iona. You cannot give Richards any airspace on the offensive end.
Picking up right where he left off yesterday, Isaiah Williams, who had 9 made threes against Monmouth, has his first here tonight. And so far, this is certainly the pace that favors Iona.
Doug, I said key number 1, 2, and 3 for Manhattan this game. They must find the three-point shooters of Iona on the perimeter.
Lowry for 3. Rebound comes to Richards. Pankey lays it in. The Jaspers back within 2. Quickly into the front court, it's Williams. And these Iona Gales are trying to get a good shot up within 10 seconds every time they touch the ball. Casimir stepped out of bounds.
And Doug, you said it. This pace really favors Iona. And as you talked about it, Williams, the clip that he is on, you look at the 2 conference games that he has had, he has put up some big numbers for Iona. 21 points in 2 games and shooting over 50% from the three-point line in his 2 conference games.
Another layup. This time it's Emi Andujar, the 6'6 senior from the Bronx. Williams finds Lowry in the lane. Up and over Pankey, can't get the roll. Andujar the rebound. Manhattan went 13-7 in conference play during the regular year. Donovan Cates left alone, and he puts the Jaspers on top.
Well, he's got an awkward release, and that time Amayo leaving him wide open, and that's a great sign if you're Manhattan. Cates knocking down a perimeter jumper.
Lowry absorbs the contact, and he will go to the free throw line. Well, we already read the quote from Steve Masiello. He played at Kentucky and was an assistant coach under Rick Pitino at Louisville, so he knows both sides of that rivalry, and this one, in his estimation, is right there in terms of the emotion. Tim Kluse, in his 5 years, has had a marvelous run in the school located in New Rochelle, New York, just outside of New York City.
Well, Doug, we couldn't ask for any more. We have 2 of the best teams in the MAAC, and in my opinion, 2 of the best coaches in the MAAC. Both these guys have done an outstanding job with their respective programs.
2 fouls for Shane Richards. He stays on the floor, at least for now. Well, there certainly are no secrets between these 2 teams. They play 2 or 3 times every year. These players know each other from high school ball, AAU ball, pickup basketball in the New York metropolitan area. These coaches have gone head-to-head many times over the years. It's just a battle of wills. Andujar. Pankey on the offensive glass. And he gets the roll.
Well, that's a problem for Iona. Pankey very active on the offensive glass.
Andujar runs the break to Richards. Open 3. Ball comes to Casimir, the MAAC Rookie of the Year. Williams setting up shop again in that corner. Unable to convert.
Well, that was a fatigue shot right there early on, and Williams has not played a lot of basketball. Remember, he sat out for over a month with a leg injury, and really good look that time in transition, unable to convert the 3.
Pankey. He'll head to the line. Ashton Pankey is a 6'10", 225 junior from the Bronx. He's a handful inside.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be? And the Mazda CX-5.
Fans, don't forget to stop by the MAAC merchandise table. Looking up on the green and outdoors, guys. Section 101. Pick up your MAAC gear today.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be? And the Mazda CX-5.
Those photographs from Springfield, Massachusetts a year ago now, when Manhattan beat Iona in the championship game, cut down the nets. And now the tournament is here in Albany. So it's about a 2.5 hour drive for each of these schools. Riverdale is in the Bronx, and New Rochelle's in Westchester County, just outside of New York City. And again, the campuses are just over 9 miles apart. There are no secrets between these two schools.
They know each other well, as you referenced at the top of the broadcast, and we've seen some memorable games played with these two teams involved. Just some fantastic basketball, a great rivalry, as we've talked about.
At the line, Ashton Pankey, who played his freshman year for Mark Turgeon with the Maryland Terrapins, but he wanted to come home. He wanted to come back to New York City, where he grew up, and play for this tremendous rivalry where you see the campuses are a short distance. Now, depending on traffic, that could take you 3 hours, but just 9.3 miles. Near steal, Lowry's got the basketball. Casimir almost lost the ball as well. Ibn Muhammad is checked into the game for A.J. English. This is Muhammad with a basketball.
Doug, Manhattan very active in their zone. They change up their defenses, but when they go into the zone, they're very active in the passing lanes.
Lowry tips it again. This time able to convert.
Well, that's great work that time by Lowry on the offensive glass, and sometimes that will happen out of the zone, in particular when the wings get spread out, as you will playing against Iona. There's going to be opportunities for Lowry to get some offensive rebound putbacks.
Lowry is second in the conference in rebounds per game, about 9.5 per night. Emi Andujar with those broad shoulders at 6'6". Another layup for him, back to a 3-point Manhattan lead.
Andujar, one of the most productive players, not just in Manhattan history, but in MAAC conference play history. Does a little bit of everything for his team. Rebounds, scores, assists, and is also an excellent defender.
Here's Andujar again. Again, first Jasper ever with 1,200 career points, 700 rebounds, 350 assists, and 150 steals, and he's off to a quick start in what's been a marvelous rivalry for him. Time and again, he has had the winning shot to take down Iona, but the Gales have won both their regular season meetings this year. Amaya with a wild shot, and there's Emi Andujar. The pull-up from 10. And there's a foul on the floor. Pankey wound up on the deck. And it's Isaiah Williams who is whistled for the foul.
Well, speaking with Coach Masiello, he said that's one of the things he wanted to do with Iona. Most teams don't want to run up and down with them. But on the short rest, obviously these teams have played 2 games back-to-back. And their short bench. He said, I want to try to run them in transition as well, too, see if he can fatigue them even more. And I think that's a good strategy, in particular, as I've talked about, Iona not very deep.
But very talented. Here's Zane Waterman just into the game for Manhattan. Calvin Crawford is also checked in, as has the backup point guard Tyler Wilson with the basketball now. A.J. English running the baseline, trying to deny the pass to Richards. Richards with a quick release. Lowry to Williams. He attacks the basket and will shoot 2. A blocking foul against Waterman.
Waterman trying to step in and take the charge, and nice move that time by Williams to avoid the attempted charge by Waterman, and he's so good. We've talked about Iona. They are so good in transition, make or miss. They rush the ball up the court and try to score in a hurry.
Well, Williams grew up in a real tough neighborhood in the city of Newark, New Jersey, the Oscar Mills Village, known as the Jungle. And remarkably, he has had 24 friends and family members killed on the streets. And so it's a neighborhood that he's very close to, very tight with. And he is drawn to tears most days, the emotion that is brought out of him with what he has seen and lived with. We're glad to say his mom and his younger brother, who's his best friend, have made the trip up from Newark to be here in Albany for tonight's big game.
And I know Iona, the whole staff, they really love this young man and happy to have him back out on the court, trying to get himself back into shape and get to 100%. But he certainly is a difference maker for this Iona basketball team.
Crawford's shot rims out. Rich Williams was the last to touch, and there is Isaiah Williams in his second season of playing Division I basketball with Iona. And he has been very good here this weekend, 16 and 11 against Siena in Saturday's quarterfinal round. And then we've talked about his 27 points yesterday, including 9 for 15 from three-point land. English gets his pass back. Ball then tipped up and in. English with his first two. It's back to a one-point ball game.
Well, although English was able to come up with that almost near steal, I think Manhattan has done a nice job closing out on the shooters of Iona.
Good hustle by Ryden Hines to come up with the steal. Nice job defensively by the Jaspers to identify Williams in the corner. Lowry spins in the lane but misfires. Crawford attacks the rim for the defensive rebound. Wilson into traffic, no whistle, play continues, and here comes Iona the other way.
Well, not a good decision that time by Wilson.
Good decision there for Wilson. Casimir didn't realize he was coming up behind him. Williams spotting up for three.
And Doug, that's a great possession by Wilson. Made a bad play, hustled back on defense, came up with a steal, and then nice penetrate kick out for a good-looking three.
Waterman another foul. Lowry will be at the free throw line when we come back. Well, it would be Thanks so much. Back in Albany with Manhattan leading Iona 19-15. It's ESPN's Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And at the Times Union Center in Albany. And with Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Doug Sherman. And so far, pace-wise, what do you think, Malcolm? Does one team or the other have the upper hand?
Well, I would say in the regular season, I think this pace would favor Iona. But after playing back-to-back games, I think this pace right now favors Manhattan. They have a deeper bench, and right now they're doing an excellent job closing out in transition, which you have to do against Iona on their shooters.
David Lowry gets the first. He was the preseason conference player of the year and then just named on Friday the conference player of the year. A couple of free throws for the 6'9 senior out of East Orange, New Jersey.
Well, interesting to see right here. Iona has extended their pressure early in this game. They're showing some full court pressure, and then they're dropping back into a matchup zone.
Andujar met by Amayo, and the turnover is forced.
That's a great matchup right there. Kelvin Amayo versus Andujar. I think that's one of the key matchups also in this game. Amayo really one of the few guys that can match up with Andujar in the MAAC.
3 seconds to get across. Amayo does. We talked about the versatility on offense for Iona, that everybody can shoot the basketball, but everybody can bring the ball up as well. Doesn't matter if you're a big or a wing or a point guard, you might be handling against the pressure.
That's why they average so many threes made per game, because they're able to break the pressure, spread you out with those excellent three-point shooters, avoid turnovers, and then get some high percentage looks from beyond the arc.
First foul on Stores, the excellent point guard for Manhattan. English, dangerous pass. Richards unable to get it away from Lowry.
Iona very fortunate to get that ball inbounded underneath the basket that time.
Amayo crosses over Cates, but then charges into Richards and picks up the personal.
And we've seen that now. Every time Iona is trying to drive the ball to the hole, Manhattan's doing an excellent job, guys stepping up, trying to take charges. And that time, Amayo out of control. Excellent position by Richards. Came up with the turnover.
Pankey turns and shoots. Little too strong. And a foul on the rebound. Tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN2, Championship Week continues with the second semifinal of the West Coast Championship. Portland versus BYU. Part of Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, there are 18 NBA scouts credentialed for this game, and they are here in large part to see number 5 in white, A.J. English, who has just gone back to the bench after a fairly slow start for him. He averages 20.2 points per game. He is one of only 2 men in the entire country, along with Ohio State freshman D'Angelo Russell, averaging better than 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. And they have certainly gotten an eyeful from English and the rest of the Gales over the last 3 days.
He's one of the outstanding talents in all of college basketball. As we take a look at Amayo, this time under control, great body control, going to the hole, avoiding the charge. Little step through, finish. Nice play that time by Kelvin Amayo.
Amayo gets the roll. There are the numbers for A.J. English. Real combo guard, 6'4" long. His dad played a couple of years in the NBA. The scouts are certainly intrigued by the junior from Delaware. Rashawn Stores is the guy who Steve Masiello, his coach, says makes this team go.
Yeah, he's been special for this team, and this is just a nice individual play. I talked about Iona extending their pressure. That time, Manhattan using a big to break it, get it to the guard on the wing, and then nice little floater and one by Stores.
Cedric Casimir out with 2 fouls, the MAAC Rookie of the Year. Stores has his first 3 points of the night. And he has the Jaspers back in front. Lowry. The double team comes to get the ball out of his hands. Here's Ryden Hines. Looked like Crawford may have blocked that shot. And it's Manhattan basketball.
And that was one time Amayo had Williams open in the corner after a nice move on the baseline. Felt he drew two defenders. That time he's got to give that one up to the opposite corner. I think Williams had a wide open look. Iona back in that matchup zone. And they're just leaving the non-3-point shooters of Manhattan alone on the perimeter and matching up with Storrs and Crawford.
Shot clock down to 3. Storrs put up a wild shot. And here's A.J. English and David Lowry. There's your 6'9" power forward going through the legs, around his back, and delivering a no-look pass. Pankey with a big rebound. Crawford brings it back out to his point guard, Storrs. 8:30 remaining first half at the Times Union Center in Albany. Doug Sherman, Malcolm Huckabee with you. Crawford has his 3 rim out. And a foul on the floor.
Well, this, as you talked about, this is a 6'8" power forward handling like a point guard, and this is the reason why he is the MAAC Player of the Year. David Lowry has been a matchup nightmare in this conference, averaging close to a double-double in conference play. And he's a guy really that just not too many teams, not just in the MAAC, but in the country can match up with him. Now that is a 6'8" power forward out there moving like a 2 and a point guard. And he's a guy that can knock down threes, but where he is lethal, you just can't match up with him. You put a big on him, he'll blow by him. You put a smaller guy on him, and he'll take him into the post. He's just an outstanding talent for Iona.
And he is another guy, Malcolm, who NBA scouts are certainly intrigued by. But in terms of profiling, A.J. English profiles as the better prospect. Andujar, another offensive rebound, but he gets blocked. Storrs, though, buries the 3.
Storrs is locked in right now in this game, making some great plays and knocking down some shots from the perimeter.
Jelani Dublin just into the game for 2.
We continue to see the skill by David Lowry. Beautiful pass that time by the MAAC Player of the Year.
Williams into the post, and Pankey had it poked away by Dublin. Isaiah Williams. From the foul line, it's Storrs. Andujar with another offensive rebound, and he will head back to the line.
Well, Doug, it's been back and forth in this game. Rashawn Storrs locked in for Manhattan, knocking down the 3 ball. And then David Lowry, the MAAC Player of the Year, showing off his passing skills.
Chris, thank you. As we take a look at the 5 teams who have punched their tickets for the NCAA tournament: North Florida, Northern Iowa, Coastal Carolina, Wofford, and Northeastern. Any of the 5 jump at you, Malcolm, as a potential upset special when I'm filling out my brackets?
Well, I like Northern Iowa. I think they have a chance. Don't count out Bill Cohn. He's done an outstanding job with that Northeastern program. That's what I love about March Madness, though. You never know. Somebody's always ruining somebody's bracket.
And here is Emi Andujar, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists against Marist in the quarterfinals. That's just another day at the office for the young man out of Rice High School in New York City. A school that was a basketball powerhouse for a number of years, but has recently closed its doors.
Doug, right now, a key number in this first half. Iona shooting 20% from the three-point line as we take a look at the steal by Manhattan. On the other end, Manhattan shooting 57% from the three-point line. Almost got another one to go right there.
Well, off of offensive rebounds, Rashawn Stores is going to find open looks.
Right now, Manhattan seems like the more energized team as we take off of a turnover. Nice push by Andujar, kick out by Pankey. They don't get it, but then great work by Andujar again. And that's just too easy. Nobody out to get a hand up on Rashawn Stores. And as I said, right now, Manhattan looks like the more energized team on both ends of the court.
And that sequence, Malcolm, was Andujar in a nutshell. Looking to set up his teammates. Didn't get an assist on the first pass, so he went and got the miss. So he got an offensive rebound, his third already here tonight, and then dished back out to Stores, who hit the 3.
He's so productive. Like I said, he does everything for this team. Scores, assists, and you take a look at him right there. He's been a matchup nightmare as well, too. Goes about 6'5", 6'6", can handle. Excellent defender, and Coach Masiello and the staff just love that young man and what he brings to the table for their program.
First team All-MAC as named on Monday, along with Iona's 2, Lowry and English. Here is English. Around and out.
Manhattan caught a break right there. A.J. English wide open from the three-point line.
Donovan Cates, no. Lowry the rebound. Pass ahead of English, able to save it before it goes out of bounds. Foul against Cates. And tempers flaring a bit.
That time Lowry on that pass was trying to lead Dublin and got a little. And the referee's right now calling a double technical, I believe. And I like the call. Getting this thing under control right away. Don't let it go any further than it has.
Nice job by Steve Masiello to grab Rashawn Stores. And so the officials are going to have an official review to see if there were any punches thrown, anything that rises to the level of a flagrant foul.
Ooh, I don't know. That was, I'd like to see that again, but you certainly don't want anybody being disqualified for anything that happened after the whistle. And there was some movement down there. So certainly right now the referees are going to review it and determine whether or not there was anything that warrant. Both coaches fired up, but right now I like what Coach Clue's saying. You got to use your head. You do not want to get yourself in a situation where you put any doubt in the referee's head whether or not there should be a flagrant foul called and potential ejection from the game.
So the officials, Jeff Anderson, Rob Riley, Wally Ritecki, continue to discuss if any action should be taken. And it appears they're going to go back to the video monitor to take another look.
Now, I'm not sure if English was trying to get up, but his arm did move towards the head of Rashawn Stores, and I think that's what they're looking at right now on the replay. You can see right here, Rashawn Stores really fell down trying to get a charge, and then you can see his arm and elbow coming up. And I think that's what they're reviewing right now. And certainly that would be a huge turn of events if anything other than a foul were called on this.
Now the two head coaches are being brought to midcourt to receive the verdict.
As the referees still try to sort out what the call is.
So over the PA, we just heard that a personal foul's been assessed to Donovan Cates, and then the double technical was against A.J. English and Rashawn Stores. And neither Coach Cluse nor Coach Masiello seems to be too terribly upset at this point about what they've heard, although that could change in a second.
Well, I think somebody's going to walk away from that huddle disappointed. Now the referees break away from both coaches again, and really not sure what the confusion is. Either it's going to be a double technical and play on, or they're really discussing whether or not somebody's going to be either ejected from the game or it's going to warrant more than a double technical and some type of flagrant foul.
Well, either way, Stores and English are equally important to their teams, and neither could afford to lose either guy. Associate head coach Jared Grosso there talking to A.J. English. Take a look one more time.
So here's the pass by English. Stores trying to take a charge, and then right here is where you see, and that's very close. That was up towards the head area.
So now Wally Ratecki is coming over to talk to Malcolm and give us exactly what the determination is. And it doesn't look like English is very happy with what he's just heard from Coach Cluse, with 5:16 remaining in the first half in the 2015 MAAC championship.
So Doug, I just got confirmation from the referees. We had a dead ball foul. And you have Dublin at the line shooting 2 free throws. And then we have a flagrant foul called on A.J. English. He made contact to the head, and then Manhattan is going to shoot a couple of free throws on the other end. And now we're going to play on. So I think in that situation right there, I think Iona very fortunate that A.J. English was not ejected from that game. And certainly Coach Cluse is going to talk to his star player and remind him, as he did as he was coming off the floor, to keep his head in that situation. They can ill afford to have him not be on the court with his team.
Shane Richards makes both free throws, and now the Jaspers will have the basketball at midcourt. So English plays on with 2 fouls with 5:16 remaining in the half. Andujar with the basketball, guarded by Amayo. And an offensive foul.
Nice job that time by Williams, fighting over that screen against Richards. We talked about it, one of the best shooters in the conference from the perimeter. Nice job chasing him off that down screen and coming up with a foul possession for his team.
Cedric Casimir, the MAAC Rookie of the Year, back into the game. And it seems like we're getting a quicker whistle after that incident as the officials try to make sure it doesn't escalate.
Yeah, and I think they've done a nice job now cleaning this up, and now the players are going to have to adjust to how the referees are officiating. Early on, they were letting a lot of stuff go on. I think you're right. After that incident now, they're starting to tighten it up, and you're going to get a quick whistle on any contact. Guys driving to the hole.
Casimir had a fairly quiet quarterfinal. Real good semi yesterday. Those are his first 2 points here tonight. Freshman from Stamford, Connecticut. Draws Iona back within 9. Wilson with a Mayo all along the way. Sheds the defender and he lays it in.
Nice job of Wilson that time. And Mayo's got to do a better job getting in front of Wilson, cutting that penetration off.
Big collision. And it's Andujar called for the block.
And right here, Amayo, one of the better defensive players on Iona. And in the conference that time, you got to get in front of Wilson, who's not a very good three-point shooter. Cut him off, but don't let him ride straight down the lane without cutting the penetration off. That's just too easy that time by Iona.
Well, it's no surprise Casimir makes 3 straight free throws here. At one point in January and February, he made 44 in a row. That's how you shoot 90% for the year.
Remember that name. Casimir is going to be a guy, as he continues to grow, is going to contend for Player of the Year in this conference. He leads all freshmen in college basketball. 91 threes made this year. He shoots a high percentage, shoots over 40% from the three-point line. Does not play like a freshman. Very calm and under control. Future very bright for that young man.
Yeah, he was an impact performer for Iona right from day one. Back in November, he went for 40 points in a game against Delaware State. Ten to shoot. Pankey finds the cutting Wilson. Touch pass Andujar. 2 more for Manhattan. And the lead back to double digits.
Great interior pass in that time. Wilson, nice little touch pass out of the double team. Pankey did a nice job giving it up. And Wilson, again, nice little touch pass to Andujar, who finished it off.
Casimir cut off by Wilson. Here comes Amayo. Bounce pass Lowry. He rises up to lay it off the glass.
Back on the other end, Iona showing off some nice passing around the post.
It has been too easy for Manhattan time and again to break the pressure and dribble the basketball into the lane for good looks. And when they're in their half-court set as we head to break, we take a look at the ball movement around the perimeter. Andujar, the recipient, he's got a dozen. 38-29 Manhattan.
Personalized gifts for all occasions, including rebirths, weddings, birthdays, graduations, and everyday celebrations. Come like Clearly Yours and make your gift as unique as your name. That's Clearly Yours. Located in the Newton Plaza in Latham.
Chris, thank you. We will have a ticket punched here tonight in Albany. Manhattan leading the MAAC championship game 38-29 over arch rival Iona. And with Malcolm Huckabee, let's go inside the play, defending the three.
Well, Iona came into this game one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. Last game, they made 19 threes in a win versus Monmouth. They scored close to 100 points. Manhattan is doing an excellent job forcing Iona to drive the ball to the hole. Now, although they scored on this play, you can see how difficult it has been throughout this first half for Iona to score the ball from the perimeter. In this game, the number, Doug, that sticks out to me, Iona's shooting 16% from the three-point line. Remember, in that last game, they shot 46% from beyond the arc. Manhattan's doing an excellent job defending the three-point line against Iona.
Right. One made three by Iona through the first 17 minutes. They made 19 of 35 last night against Monmouth.
I would say that's a big difference in terms of the shooting percentage and the effectiveness of the three-point shot by Iona in this game. And remember, Doug, Manhattan is one of the better defensive clubs in the MAAC.
English lets loose from the corner. Barely nicked the iron. Crawford's got the ball.
And you can see the difference. Every shot is contested by Iona. Manhattan doing an excellent job closing out on the threes.
Pankey, the double team comes from English. 10 on the shot clock. Wilson, the point guard, comes out to reset. Crawford going to have to put it up. Gives it to Pankey. They say he got it off in time, but here come the Gales. But Williams couldn't get to the ball first. Cates the last to touch. It'll be Gales' possession on the sideline.
Well, it's a great job. We talked about both these teams know each other well, but Manhattan knows Iona make or miss. They want to get up and run. You see all 5 players for Manhattan sprinting back on defense. Make or miss. But they're doing an excellent job in transition defense.
And you referenced it earlier, Malcolm. The Iona coaching staff just has not known what it would be able to get out of Isaiah Williams here this weekend. Trying to play 3 games in 3 days on a surgically repaired foot, where they had to insert a screw. Whistle after the shot. And it just seems like Williams doesn't have the same bounce in his step tonight that he did last night.
Well, all of them are playing a little tired, and Coach Masiello not happy with that call by the referees. Felt that A.J. English was the one that initiated the contact on that shot, and he may have a case right there. Looked like pretty good D. Right here, A.J. English, one of the better guards in the country. And yeah, I think Coach Masiello has a pretty good point right there. It was pretty good D by Crawford, and that's one of the few I think they've missed in this game. Otherwise, they've done an outstanding job officiating this game. But certainly that number right there for Iona, that number needs to go up. A.J. English coming off a 29-point performance in that last outing. And I talked about fatigue playing a factor in this game. These guys have played 2 games. Iona not a very deep club. And again, right now, Manhattan just looks fresher in this first half.
Wilson continues to run the point with Stores on the bench. And Wilson traveled.
Right now, they are not guarding Wilson or Williams. They're just daring those two to shoot the ball. And you saw that time they just double-team hard Pankey. It was a nice dive that time by Wilson, but the help was good by Iona, and they were able to come up with a turnover.
Carlton Allen into the game for the first time. He's a 6'10 sophomore from Ewing, New Jersey for the Jaspers. English with his first made 3 of the night.
Well, if you gamble against Iona, they are going to make you pay. every time. You cannot gamble, because if you don't get the steal, they have too many three-point shooters. And Doug, this is what I talk about here. You have really two forwards handling the ball, break the pressure, and then A.J. English, one of the premier guards in the country, making them pay. And Iona now starting to heat up on the offensive end.
English, 2 in a row. And he immediately looks up to the cheering section behind the Gales bench. Timeout, Manhattan. The regular season champs are making a push, but the defending tournament champs still holding on by 2. In the blink of an eye, A.J. English has 10 points, and in that same blink of an eye, the Gales are right back in the ballgame, Malcolm.
Doug, I said it at the top. Iona is one of the best offensive clubs in the country. They average close to 80 points per game. Their last game, we talked about it, they made 19 threes, scored close to 100 points in a win versus Monmouth. And on the season, they averaged close to 11 threes made per game, and they shot over 40% from the three-point line. You know they can score in a heartbeat. They're an excellent offensive club.
And you know what? The lead has evaporated with Rashawn Storrs on the bench and their backup point guard, Tyler Wilson, on the floor. Iona on an 8-0 run over the last 90 seconds. 7 to shoot. Crawford into Pankey. And again, with the horn blowing, he misfires. Amayo almost lost the dribble. Here goes English, the floater. Knocked out of bounds. Iona will keep it, but that is the half. Our halftime score, Manhattan 39, Iona 37. Now let's send you to Chris Cotter in the studio for the Heroes Charge halftime report.
Denoyer Chevrolet is proud to be a sponsor of the MAAC Championships. Thanks to you, Denoyer Chevrolet is the #1 volume Chevrolet dealer in the capital region. When you're looking for a new vehicle, shop where you're treated like family. Denoyer Chevrolet, Wolf Road in Colonnade. CDTA welcomes you to the 2015 MAAC Tournament. Let us take you out on the town while you're in town. Whether it's food, fun, or attractions, know before you go with real-time info for every route. For schedules and fares, download our free app or visit cdta.org.
Deep Days, Let's Drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the performance protein made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready. The competitor in you.
Hi, I'm Jerry Golden, CEO of Price Chopper Supermarkets. Welcome to this year's MAAC Basketball Championships. I hope you enjoy your time in the Capital Region, and on behalf of the entire Price Chopper family, best of luck to all the teams.
You can win an out-of-the-blue party with rock stars like Fallout Boy. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag out of the blue with a picture of Pepsi.
Hi fans, I'm Scott Hotelli, regional leader of Berkshire Bank. Berkshire Bank is proud to be one of the welcome sponsors for the 2015 MAAC tournament. I'm sure you'd all agree, few things are exciting as college basketball in March. We hope you enjoy the games, and best of luck to all the teams.
You're watching ESPN's Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We're at the MAAC Championship. Manhattan versus Iona. As we get ready for the start of the second half, the Jaspers up 2. And welcome back, everybody, to Albany, New York with Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Doug Sherman. And it appeared the Jaspers were in control, but a late 8-0 run by the Gales in the final 2 minutes. And we've got ourselves a ball game again.
Yeah, Doug, for the first 18 minutes of this first half, Manhattan did an excellent job keeping Iona under control, and then gambles on defense led to this quick run by Iona, one of the better three-point shooting teams in the country. When you gamble against Iona and you don't get the steal, they will make you pay every time. And right there, A.J. English hitting a long NBA three. And these numbers right here, Doug, tell the first half. Like you said, for the first 18 minutes, Manhattan held Iona to 16% from the three-point line. In that last 2 minutes, they upped their number to 33. And that's going to be the key in the second half for Manhattan. Continuing to defend the three-point line against Iona.
And I think the other big storyline is how much does Iona still have to give in terms of energy. Richards, the catch and shoot in the face of Amayo.
And Shane Richards has been playing some great ball for Manhattan in this tournament. He's their leading scorer. He is their best three-point shooter. And in that first half, also for Manhattan, they shot over 40%, 45% from the three-point line. That was another key number in that first half for Manhattan.
Casimir for 3. So the current MAAC Rookie of the Year, matching the triple, knocked down by the 2013 MAAC Co-Rookie of the Year, and Richards.
Richards does a nice job moving off of screens.
Andujar gave to Pankey. Andujar keeps it alive. Casimir after it. And a foul on the long rebound.
And right here, this is just one of the premier shooters in the conference. Shane Richards coming off, catch and shoot, and then the MAAC Rookie of the Year. Too much airspace, a breakdown that time in the Manhattan zone, and Cedric Casimir made them pay.
English, Lowry, Amayo, Casimir, and Williams. Same starting 5 out there for Iona. Rashawn Storrs only played 10 minutes in that first half. He's back at the point for the Jaspers. Lowry called for the offensive foul.
Pankey continuing to have a nice game on the defensive glass and also on defense. Nice job holding his ground. And this time using his length to bother Lowry. And Lowry got the left arm up. Good defense that time by Pankey.
And Malcolm, I think if he had not extended that left arm, he wouldn't have been called. The contact was okay, but the separation between the arm and body was what got him. Andujar, big size advantage on English. Kick to the corner, and Cates hits the 3.
That's all set up by Emi Andujar. Nice unselfish play. Draw 2 defenders and then kick it out to a wide open shooter in Cates in the corner. Good basketball by Manhattan on offense.
You see the Gales picking it up from behind the three-point line. The Jaspers doing very well, 7 for 13 from distance. Andujar thought about the long pass to Pankey. Instead, they will set up the half court. Cates, Storrs, Andujar, Pankey, and Richards. This is Pankey, and he hits. The Jaspers begin the second half on fire. The lead is back to 7.
Well, Pankey has done a nice job. I say he's been very active on defense and also on the offensive glass. That time knocking down the elbow jumper.
Blocking foul called against Cates.
And you talked about it. Pankey started his career off at Maryland. Very skilled big, very active on defense, and nice looking stroke right there from the elbow. And again, you said it, they came out on fire in this game, and they continue in the second half. They're playing some outstanding offense, Manhattan.
Well, Pankey was named third team all-conference. Easily could have been on the second team. 13 points, 7.5 rebounds a game. Although there, he can't keep Lowry from getting to the rim.
Lowry heard us talking about how much Pankey was doing a good job on him on the defensive end. Nice little up fake that time by the Conference Player of the Year, David Lowry, and Pankey that time, poor job holding his ground on defense.
Lowry bats it out. Stores has it for Manhattan. Nice find for Andujar, and he lays it in. A.J. English lobs it to the front court for Lowry. And it was English who scored all 8 points in that run to close out the first half. He's yet to take a shot here in the second. Lowry with another layup.
Nice job by Amayo breaking down that Manhattan defense, and that's a nice little interior pass to David Lowry. Nice soft hands, catch and finish.
Now, we don't have plus-minus stats right now for this game, but I'm telling you, Rashawn Stores would have the best plus-minus. When he's been on the court, the Jaspers offense has worked much better. And when he was on the bench after that double technical foul for that long stretch late in the first half, the momentum absolutely swung in Iona's favor. English no. Williams tips back to Lowry. Casimir from the corner.
And as soon as that ball was swung to Cedric Casimir, the MAAC freshman of the year, Coach Masiello was stomping his feet. He knew it was a breakdown off of an offensive rebound. Nice ball movement by Iona, and that is the reason why they are one of the best offensive clubs in the country. They have shooters all around the perimeter.
Here's Stores off the mark. Pankey got a hand on it, back out to Cates. And Malcolm, I need to correct myself. Stores, we were told originally was given a technical, but it was changed and he was not given a technical. But from that point forward, he did go to the bench, and Coach Masiello left him over there and allowed Wilson to run the point.
Coach Masiello raves about his game. Remember, he given up a lot of his offense. He was the Rookie of the Year his freshman year, and he's a guy, as you said, he makes their offense go. He makes a lot of good decisions.
Well, the quote from Coach Masiello about his senior point guard from the Bronx, quote, "He most gets it. Of all the Jaspers, he most gets it."
or give them a call at 800-398-7625. We do it all in Iona Sports. Thanks to all the people who cleaned up and filled out a MAAC transport. As part of the promotion, we're going to be giving away our grand prize gift basket. So one participant for right now. Today's winner is Juna Keen. Congratulations to Juna. Please come on down to the store and take a look, claim your prize. Grab the official photo show. Purchase photos for the MAAC championship.
Well, both of these teams are playing their third game in as many days. Isaiah Williams was out for more than a month after having foot surgery, and it appears he, as much as anyone, is perhaps gassed. His energy level is down. And we've talked about the fact that he went for 27 points, 9 made threes yesterday. He is a brilliant shooter, nearly 50% for the year. But Coach Kluse talks more about his energy and the fact that he rebounds the basketball as well as anyone and gets the 50-50 balls, and we've not seen that type of production here tonight out of Williams.
And that's the reason why, coming into this game, Coach Massiello of Manhattan wanted to run this team, in particular on that third day, knowing Iona is not a very deep club. And Doug, this typically is when fatigue sets in, right around that 12 to 13-minute mark in the second half. I think that will continue to be a storyline in this game for Iona.
Here's Andujar. Williams gets around Williams. And Lowry pulls down the rebound. Iona down 2. And there's a look at the starters' minutes for both teams here in the tournament. The Jaspers able to rest their guys just a little bit more. And Williams' first 2 games averaged 37.5 minutes per. And so far tonight, he has played 26 minutes. Wednesday, ESPN delivers an NBA doubleheader. Coverage begins with Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern. At 8 Eastern, Chris Paul and the Clippers square off with Russell Westbrook and the Thunder. Then at 10:30 Eastern, the Rockets and MVP frontrunner James Harden take on the Trailblazers. That's Wednesday on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN. Here's A.J. English. Lowry off the glass for 2, and we're tied at 49.
He is so difficult to match up with. The player of the year in this conference, averaged close to a double-double during the regular season. David Lowry, matchup nightmare.
English tries to push the tempo, but defensively the Jaspers get back. Lowry missed with a left hand. Andujar comes away with a rebound, and he's fouled by Amayo on the reach-in.
Right here, we've already shown his point guard skills handling the ball. That time, the bigger Pankey taking him out on the perimeter, and that's why he's so difficult to match up with. He has 3-point range. He can handle the ball like a point guard, and really just a really difficult matchup in any league, in particular in the MAAC.
He's the 3rd MAAC Player of the Year in 4 years to wear an Iona uniform, after Scott Machado and Momo Jones. 12:35 remaining second half. 3rd straight year these 2 arch rivals have squared off in the MAAC final. The Jaspers won last year's championship, the Gales the year before. Shot clock down to 5. Stores blocked by Lowry, who knew it was coming. Amayo, tough catch, and the foul called against the Jaspers point guard Stores. And Malcolm, when that shot clock is down that far and you're defending man on man, you know what's happening here.
Yeah, great job right here by Lowry. And then they're off to the races. And we talked about this at the tip. Iona is one of the best transition teams on offense. They can shoot the 3, and they want to shoot the ball fast, make or miss. They are very difficult to defend in transition.
That foul was number 3 on Stores as Amayo connects on the first. And Stores does so many things well for the Jaspers. His assist-to-turnover ratio nearly 3-to-1. He knocks down well over 40% of his three-point shots, and he controls the tempo just as well as anybody in this league. Andujar keeps that pivot foot, kicks the ball out. Waterman. And Casimir pulls it down. And just like the Gales do, they are on the move. English's pass taken away by Stores.
Doug Stores has been the difference maker in this game. Thus far, 9 points, 5 assists, and he's also playing some excellent defense in this game.
Under 10 to shoot again. Waterman left open. Foul on the rebound. And that takes us to our under 12 media timeout. This game has all the appearances as one that's going right down to the wire.
The official sporting goods supplier of the 2015 MAAC Basketball Championships. You guys ready? All right, you're going to dress all the way to the half court and then come back and shoot where you're starting. You got it? On your mark, get set, go. We don't want you to kill any Manhattan players with a thunderous dunk on the other end. That's Carter in the blue representative now in the lead. A very long string hangs with his shorts. Don't trip on it. Carter still holds a slight advantage, but Nicholas is catching up. Carter and Nicholas up. Jelani Couple is checking in for Iona, so I have no clue exactly who's holding in first. But it's time. All right, you won't get a prize from Andy Sports in the Rock. Good shot, fellas. Advanced 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship are coming from Albany. This regional action March 28th and 30th right here in the Times Union Center. The tournament is hosted by the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and Siena College. Affordable all-session tickets are on sale now. For tickets, visit ncaa.com/WPT-tickets and secure your seats today.
Chris, thank you. Here Iona leads Manhattan 50-49. And that man in the middle of your screen is Albert James English II. He was a star basketball player at Virginia Union who went on to play 2 years in the NBA with the Washington Bullets. And the reason he's in the building is because his son is Albert James English III. A.J. English, first team All-Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Averaging over 20 points per game, and with 18 NBA scouts in the building, many of them keeping an eye on him, there is a chance that he will be the next Iona draft pick who makes his way into the NBA.
Yeah, and I've spoken to several scouts at several of the games that we've called, and he has all the tools. Good size, great range as we take a look at Andahar, and he's hit some big shots to win game for Iona. Very few holes in his game, and an outstanding talent. He is a guy that I think eventually will be playing for a paycheck, whether it's here or overseas.
Jelani Dublin, who had a big semifinal against Monmouth with 8 points, 4 rebounds. He's now got 5 tonight, and the Gales are back in front. Richards, contested 3-0. Lowry, another rebound. Here comes English. Nice ball fake by Casimir, but he couldn't finish the play.
A nice up fake that time by Casimir. And again, I think that's the fatigue right there. That's a wide open look, one that he normally knocks down. Over 40% on the year, but back-to-back games.
Cates hits the 3 with Williams flying by him.
And Doug Cates has been the difference in this game behind the three-point line for Manhattan. Remember, in that first half, they shot 46%. And Cates was a big reason why. Awkward release, but effective at the end. And he's a guy that's continued to knock down shots from the perimeter for Manhattan in this game.
He only shoots 21% for the year. He's 3 for 5 tonight. Lowry, the jump hook. So many different ways to go at it if you're David Lowry.
Yeah, and that right there is just a breakdown. That's just too easy for the player of the year. David Lowry catching the ball in the paint. Really little resistance that time by Pankey, and nice little jump hook by Lowry.
Pankey. And he puts the defending MAAC tournament champs back in front.
Well, again, Pankey's already knocked down that elbow jumper, and Iona continues to give it to him. They need to get out and contest that shot.
Williams way off the mark. He looks at his teammates, pats his chest, and says, "My bad." But with the way he was stroking it last night, 9 for 15, a tournament record, I don't think his teammates begrudge him that shot. Pankey going to go to the line to shoot 2 as Dublin picks up the foul. Selection Sunday is less than a week away, and ESPN has you covered. Sunday at 7 Eastern on Bracketology presented by Staples. Our experts will break down the field of 68, tell you which teams are going to make a deep run, and let you know if Kentucky's pursuit of perfection can be stopped. And according to Joe Lenardi, he's got Iona right now as a 12 seed to be matched up against North Carolina out in Seattle. But of course, that's predicated on them winning this game here tonight. Iona's one of those teams that, whether it's the Tar Heels or whether it's one of the other big boys, they won't be happy on Selection Sunday if it is the Gales they're matched up against.
Yeah, Manhattan obviously as well, too, but certainly Iona on offense, as we've talked about throughout this game, one of the better offensive clubs in the country. They got their work cut out for them right now. Manhattan with a 3-point lead.
Oh, we've got another official review as they check out the last foul.
I think they're checking to see who that foul is on. Clearly, it's David Lowry hitting Pankey on top of the head, unless they caught Dublin with the body prior to him going into his shooting motion. Now, right here. Certainly, Iona would prefer that foul to go on Dublin as opposed to David Lowry.
So the foul is indeed on Lowry. They saw what we did, that it was Lowry's forearm that made contact with the head. So for the Conference Player of the Year, that is foul number 3. He and English and Amayo each have 3 for Iona. Stores has 3 fouls for Manhattan. And so at the line is Pankey shooting 2.
Pankey has been very active on defense and on the offensive glass for Manhattan. Showed the ability to knock down the elbow jumper, and also a pretty good free throw shooter, 70% on the year, and nice looking stroke, nice looking form by Ashton Pankey.
There's the big pep talk from Coach Masiello to his all-conference forward. Dublin caught that pass in a tough spot, did a nice job to get it back out front to Amayo. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Amayo bounces it along the baseline to Dublin, who puts it in.
Iona did a nice job breaking that pressure D by Manhattan. Manhattan does it in a different way. That's a matchup zone, but they're very active. They extend it and very active in the passing lanes. That time, Iona did a nice job breaking it down and then getting a high percentage shot at the rim.
Richards hands off to Williams. Tough shot in the lane for 2. Back to a 4-point Manhattan lead. Amayo Euro steps right around Carlton Allen for 2.
Well, Amayo is a key guy for Iona, in particular against Manhattan, who likes to pick up full. He is the guy, not the point guard, that breaks the pressure of Manhattan. He's got great size and a nice handle.
Andujar had it blocked. English waits for his teammates, hoping for a screen from Amayo. Lowry, no-look pass Amayo. Hangs in the air, and he'll have a chance for three. Well, as soon as Pankey's out of there, the game changes with Carlton Allen being the one trying to protect the rim.
Well, Iona doing an excellent job passing out of the pressure put in by Manhattan.
Back at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York, Manhattan and Iona tied at 60 for the MAAC championship. And let's go inside the play. Iona handling the pressure.
Well, Doug, when you play against Manhattan in their half-court zone, you must be good with the basketball. They're very active in the passing lane. That time they go for the gamble, and Lowry's such a good passer. That time Iona made Manhattan pay, and that's what you need to do when you're playing against a team that extends their pressure, goes for steals. You have to have good passers. Iona, a very good passing team.
Lowry has 17 double-doubles this season. On pace certainly for another here tonight with 7:01 on the clock. Amayo can't finish the three-point play, so we remain tied at 60. Along with Boston College Hall of Famer Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Doug Sherman. And this so far has been everything it was billed to be. Foul off the ball, and it goes against Dublin of the Gales. Second foul on Dublin, and number 6 against Iona. Pankey back in the game along with Richards, Andujar, Stores, and Donovan Cates. And it's Dublin again with his third foul. So now 4 of the 5 Gales on the floor have 3 personal fouls.
That time I think it's a miscommunication. I think they were caught whether or not they were going to hedge hard or switch on that ball screen. That is the last guy you want to put on the free throw line. He was perfect in his first 2 games for Manhattan, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Shane Richards, one of the premier shooters in Manhattan history, school history, and certainly Iona can ill afford to continue to give him freebies from the free throw line.
Shane Richards was the first player on this floor shooting around Saturday morning before any games were played. And keep in mind the Jaspers didn't play until the 9 o'clock quarterfinal. He has been working at his craft and wants this championship badly, as does Andujar.
Missed opportunity by Iona, and Manhattan makes him pay on the other end.
Lowry, and a block against Stores. That is his 4th.
And right here, missed opportunity. Amayo going for the highlight play, and then it's off to the races. Poor balance in transition defense by Iona, and Andujar was able to get down the lane for an easy deuce.
And you know what? If Pankey wasn't the one back in the game to defend that, I think Amayo might have been able to finish that dunk. We have seen that out of him before this year. But just the mere threat of having Pankey changes the game. Lowry able to score again. He's up to 20 points.
And that's poor identification that time by Manhattan. Out of the inbounds, out of underneath, they have Shane Richards trying to defend David Lowry in the post. That's a mismatch. And they got to talk. There is no way that Shane Richards should be matched up on David Lowry at all in the game, in particular out of bounds underneath.
3 fouls now on Richards. He stays on the floor. Wilson out there with Stores back on the bench with his 4 personal fouls.
Doug Wilson, not being a good three-point shooter, allows A.J. English really to just sit in the lane and not defend anybody and play help defense.
Amayo lost it on the spin dribble back to Cates. Back and forth we go. Andujar pulls it back out. Cates for 3. Again, he was shooting 21% on the year. He's made 4 of 6 so far tonight.
Well, you can't say Iona did not read the scouting report. Nobody expected Cates to turn into a lethal three-point shooter, but he has done that in this game.
Williams tries to answer. And Lowry is called for the foul. And that is number 4 on the MAAC Player of the Year.
Well, Doug, you said it. He came into this game not known as a three-point shooter. That's not an uncontested one right there. You got a guy running out at him, and he's been knocking him down. On the other end, Isaiah Williams wide open in the corner. Good look. Again, I think legs played a factor in that shot right there. He's been knocking those down, and then Pankey doing an excellent job blocking out, and David Lowry going over the back.
Now, who would have predicted this? But confidence and flow make such a difference. Cates, not a good three-point shooter, has 4. And then Williams, after he made 9 last night, makes 47% for the year. And he has struggled at 1 for 5.
Doug, I think this is a big possession right here for Iona. It's a 6-point deficit they have.
Williams now 1 for 6 from beyond the arc.
Normally, those are all good looks, and looks that Iona wants out of their offense. Certainly, if he continues to miss, though, he's got to start thinking about trying to drive the ball to the hole.
The Jaspers lead the Gales by 6 with 4:21 remaining.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be? ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be?
2 years ago in Springfield, Massachusetts, Tim Cluse, David Lowry, and the Iona Gales defeated Manhattan in the championship game. Last year, it was the Jaspers who beat Iona in this game, and right now Manhattan's got the upper hand with 4:21 remaining in regulation. Welcome back to Albany, New York at the Times Union Center. Long faces on the Iona bench, and it's been a very short bench all year, but especially tonight. Ibn Muhammad and Ryden Hines got some run in the first half. It's basically been a six-man rotation here in the second half.
Yeah, he's going to ride out the guys that he thinks gives them the best opportunity to get here, and certainly right now the flow and also momentum is in Manhattan's favor.
See, the last two MAAC championships between these two teams have been decided by a total of 6 points. Pankey makes it an 8-point Jaspers lead. Lowry.
That time Manhattan just allowed Lowry to shoot that free throw line jumper, and that was not even close. Off the backboard, wide right. And
Wilson gets it off in time, and then he commits the foul. And will walk to the other end. Just over 3 minutes from deciding the champion in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference between arch rivals Manhattan and Iona. Thank you, Chris. Back in Albany, 71-63 Manhattan. Time now to take a look at our step-up moment brought to you by Axe. And just a few minutes ago, Calvin Amaya went for a spectacular dunk. Had it gone, the momentum could have shifted to Iona. Instead, at the other end, Emi Andujar made it a 4-point swing.
Yeah, and Doug, I think that was a big turning point in the game. You talked about it. If that dunk goes down, I think the momentum goes towards Iona. They miss it. Manhattan's off to the races, and that was a huge change of events in this game, and I think that's really put Manhattan in front with the momentum in this game.
And since that time, Malcolm, it's been a 9-3 Jaspers run. Now 9-4 with a made free throw by Lowry. And I don't think you can underestimate the fact that Pankey was just put back onto the floor and was the defender. Didn't go up and challenge at the rim, but just his mere presence. And Amaya was unable to finish that dunk. Here's Pankey at the other end. That was easy.
Well, Pankey has been the guy in the second half for Manhattan, knocking down elbow jumpers and then in the paint. That's just too easy. He's catching the ball underneath the basket. Iona's got to do a better job forcing him to catch the ball outside the paint.
Lowry with the jump hook. He's got 24 points, and the Gales call timeout. We'll step away and see if Iona can make up this 7-point deficit when we come back. Welcome back to ESPN's Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We're at the MAAC Championship in Albany, 73-66, with 2:32 remaining. And Malcolm Huckabee, if any team in the country can make up a 7-point deficit in 2.5 minutes, it's Iona. But do they have enough gas left in the tank?
Well, we shall see. But we saw at the end of that first half, Manhattan really did a good job contesting the threes, and then in the blink of an eye, Iona went on a mini run in 2 minutes and closed the gap. So certainly Iona is a team that can make up this deficit.
Sunday at 9 Eastern on ESPN from ESPN Films' critically acclaimed 30 for 30 series. It's the premiere of I Hate Christian Laettner. The documentary explores why Laettner, who made perhaps the most dramatic shot in the history of the NCAA tournament and is still the only player to start in 4 consecutive Final Fours, was and still is so disliked. I Hate Christian Laettner, Sunday at 9 Eastern on ESPN. And also watch ESPN, presented by Volkswagen TDI. And if perhaps you don't remember Christian Laettner if you're young, just the title should draw you in. I Hate Christian Laettner.
My goodness, when are people going to let it go as we take a look at A.J. English beyond NBA 3?
Numbers for Manhattan, but Andujar decides to pull it back out with under 2 minutes left in the second half.
A great move that time by Andujar to pull the ball back out, run some clock. It's in your favor, and that's a heads-up play.
Not a switch. You've got Casimir trying to defend Andujar on the post. Now they get it back. Williams is the post defender, restores, dribbles, leans in. Lowry rips it away. Amaya lost the pass. And again, Andujar, rather than pushing it, turns around, and a foul given by Casimir. That's his third.
That's a tough break for Iona right there. Amayo trying to make a move before he had the ball and turned it right over to Manhattan.
These two schools, both founding members of the MAAC, dating back to 1981. Iona is the most successful program in the league's history. Manhattan has represented the league in the NCAA tournament 4 times previously. And their head coach, Steve Masiello, has had a hand in 3 of those, twice as an assistant, and then last year as head coach. Amayo goes down, and they call the foul on Ashton Pankey.
2 big misses at the free throw line by Andelhoff, a 71% free throw shooter, and then not a good foul by Pankey right here. Looked like he got him with the body. He was in good position, no need to move his hips out. Costly foul right there, but Amayo really has struggled from the free throw line in this game and also for the season.
1 minute left in the MAAC championship, and Casimir fouls Richards. His 4th personal, and Richards will head to the free throw line. Tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN2, Championship Week continues with the 2nd semifinal of the West Coast Championship. Portland versus BYU, part of Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Richards is normally a good free throw shooter. Misses another free throw for Manhattan. Richards came in at 81% from the free throw line. That's another big miss by Manhattan as he gets the second one to go and extend this lead.
Casimir, blocked by Pankey, rips the ball away. Timeout, Manhattan.
Doug, Ashton Pankey has been dominant on both ends of the court and the paint, but that time coming up with a big block and then secures the rebound for Manhattan.
There's what's at stake. Manhattan looking for its 8th NCAA appearance and 2nd in a row if they can hang on.
And then this is just great position by Pankey. Didn't block it out of bounds, tipped it to himself, and then secured the rebound, and they can sense they're inching closer to punching a ticket into the dance. A nice defensive work by Pankey.
Ibn Muhammad back in the lineup with Casimir, Amayo, Williams, and English. So David Lowry is on the bench with 48.1 on the clock.
You got to watch somebody running long if you're Iona. That time they didn't have a safety, but they fouled before. But in those situations when you're face guarding, sometimes a team will run a guy long and you have no safety back there and you get an easy deuce. That time, though, Iona chose the foul before they even inbounded the ball.
Yeah, it was Isaiah Williams who fouled Donovan Cates, who's a 78% foul shooter and who at one point this year made 29 in a row. The Jaspers, though, as a team, have missed 5 of their last 6 at the line.
Well, the story of this game for Cates has not been his defense. He's more known for, came into this game, as you said, shooting 21% from the three-point line. In this game, 4 for 6 from the three-point line, knocking down some big threes for Manhattan.
English trying to get off the 3. Andujar allows it to bounce toward the baseline and out of bounds.
That's really not a good possession that time by Iona. Still plenty of time left. You don't need to heave a 3 in a double team situation right there. Certainly clock is against you, but you definitely want to get a better look than that.
Another offense-defense switch. Lowry back out. Bevis back in. Vangelis Bevis for the first time. And then Williams fouls Pankey.
Well, Doug, always in these games, somebody steps up and makes plays. And in this game, it was Donovan Cates stepping up, knocking down big threes for his team. And that's something that was not expected coming into this one. But he has been the difference from beyond the arc for Manhattan in this game.
And the Jaspers have gotten wonderful balance tonight. Emi Andujar 18 points, Ashton Pankey 17, Shane Richards 13, Donovan Cates 13, and then the man who makes it all go, Rashawn Stores, has been steady as usual with his 9 points to go along with 5 assists. Williams for 3. Amaya misses on the putback, and Pankey with another rebound and the immediate foul.
Well, he has been a grown man on the glass all night. Ashton Pankey has limited them to 1 offensive possession, and then he is going up and snatching everything that comes off the rim. Doing an outstanding job on the defensive glass.
Iona came into this game with a 26-7 record, the #1 seed, having won 13 of its last 14 games. The Gales went 17-3 in conference play, including a pair of wins over these Manhattan Jaspers, but Steve Masiello's club turning the tables when it matters most.
Definitely has to start hoisting up some threes.
Isaiah Williams, the putback. Timeout Iona, leaving the Gales with 2. Let's take a look back at the last 2 MAAC championships in 2013. Both played in Springfield. Iona won the game 60-57. This is one of the regular season matchups during the year, and they went down to the wire both. But it was Iona with that big shot by A.J. English that won the game on the road for the Gales. And then they did it again a couple of weeks ago. You and I were at both of these games, Malcolm. Iona at home took care of business, but in this neutral site game, the Gales have been climbing uphill from the start, and it's been the Jaspers who have been playing in front.
Well, in this setting right here, back-to-back games, these teams are so evenly matched, but I think the advantage goes to Manhattan in this game because they have a deeper bench, and the way that they play, Iona's, we've talked about this throughout the game, not a very deep bench, and fatigue definitely played a role in this game.
We see another official review to see, I believe, who touched that ball last. Here's what they're looking at.
That's an interesting call right there. Now, from that angle right there, looked like Richards was the last to touch it from that angle. That's what they're looking at. Hopefully they can get a better angle. Right here, trying to inbound the ball. Okay, right there. From that angle right there, then I take that back. That looks like Casimir was, I don't know. He put from that angle right there, Richards.
Yeah, they've changed it.
Pokes his hand on the ball, and I think they are going to reverse it. And now they reverse that and saying it's Iona ball, so that's a big break for Iona in this situation.
Bevis the pull up with 9 seconds left. Pankey, I believe, is going to be called for the over the back foul. 10th team foul on the Jaspers, so 2 free throws for Kelvin Amayo.
So in that situation right there, Bevis down 9. 12 seconds ago. You got to let that one fly quicker. Amayo gets a free throw to go.
Last night in the semifinals, Iona was able to score 95 points, including a MAAC tournament record 19 made threes, but the Gales were never allowed to get that sort of offense going as Tim Kluse's club met its match tonight with the defensive-minded Manhattan Jaspers.
Yeah, Manhattan, one of the better defensive clubs in the MAAC, and when these two teams meet, typically Iona never really reaches their season average of 80 points. Manhattan, an excellent defensive club, and they continue that tonight.
And David Lowry, the player of the year in the conference, has just fouled out to end his college career.
Doug, that last graphic was the story of this game. Iona, last night against Monmouth, 19 threes made. They shot 46%. Tonight, well below that average. And you got to give a lot of that credit to Manhattan. They've did an excellent job defending Iona on the perimeter.
While the starters go out, the Iona bench can take small consolation in the fact that their season won't end here tonight. They will go on to the NIT as regular season champions, but for the second year in a row, they are dancing in the Bronx. The Manhattan Jaspers are champions of the MAAC.
Doug, start to finish, Manhattan, the more aggressive team. They were sharper on offense, and give them all the credit. They are going dancing. Outstanding team performance by Manhattan.
For the third year in a row, these two arch rivals squared off for the MAAC championship. Iona won in 2013, but the Jaspers are champions for the second year in a row. 79-69 the final score. A year ago, the Jaspers went to the big dance and put a scare into Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals. Could they do some damage this time around? Once again, our final score in the MAAC championship. The Manhattan Jaspers 79, the Iona Gales 69. Coming up next, championship week continues with the second semifinal of the West Coast Conference Championship. It'll be Portland versus Brigham Young University. Now let's send you to Chris Cotter with the College Basketball Live scoreboard. So long from Albany, New York.
many he wants the whole team, so. But he's going to try to calm down here, so. Yeah, yep. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man, come on. Right here. That's two. That's two, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Whoa, no screaming. No screaming. That's two, man.
Okay. Coach, you insisted being here with your team. You guys are going dancing again. 10-point win. What was the difference in this game?
My players. Their bond. What they've been through, what they've handled, it's because of them. They just came out. Their bond is so big, you can't break this team up. It's bigger than basketball for us.
Coach, take a look at the monitor right here. We're going to show a play. And a lot of emotion. What's going through your head right here, and what are you telling your players?
Emi Anyohar, Sean Storrs, Donovan Cates came here with 6 wins. They believed in me before I ever did anything. They believed in a vision. I can't tell you what it means. I can't even put it into words. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these kids.
Coach, I know you're going to enjoy this one right here, but now you guys are going into the tournament. Well, what do you say to folks that may not give you guys a chance coming into that first round game? What do you want to tell them about this team right here?
That's their opinion. They're entitled to it. We've been doubted. We're just going to come out and play hard. We're humbled and honored to be able to advance and play some more basketball.
Coach, you guys are going dancing again. Well-deserved. Congratulations. Go enjoy this one with the rest of your team. Good luck, Coach. Back to you, Doug.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court for our awards presentation. Before we begin, let's recognize our presenting sponsors for the championships. Price Chopper, represented by Ira Gans and Joe Inatola. Berkshire Bank, represented by Bob Curley. D&D Power, represented by Darren Donahue and Renaissance Hotels. Thanks for making this year's event possible. Are now presenting this year's awards, our men's basketball committee members, John Dargenio from Siena College, Allison Sexton from Fairfield University, and Brian Keene from Rider University. And joining them is MAAC Commissioner Rich Enzer. First, let's meet the members of the 2015 MAAC Men's Basketball All-Championship Team.
from Manhattan, Emmy Andujar. From Iona, AJ English. From Iona, David Lowry. From Manhattan, Shane Richards. And from Iona, Isaiah Williams. And the 2015 MAAC Men's Basketball Championship Most Valuable Player from Manhattan, Ashton Pankey. And now for the presentation of the championship team. First, let's extend a round of applause to Iona College for its second place finish in this year's championship. And now at this time, let's meet the individual team members from Manhattan College. Please come forward to accept your team championship award as your name is called. Samson.
For the second year in a row, the Manhattan Jaspers are dancing their way into the NCAA tournament. And welcome everybody to Albany, New York. Doug Sherman along with Malcolm Huckabee. And this was the matchup everybody wanted to see. The two arch rivals who have met two times previously in this championship game. They had split the last 2 years, but this time Manhattan was clearly the better team.
They were the fresher team, start to finish. And as Coach said, it was a team effort. I felt they had more balance on offense. And then the key number in this game, Iona shot 23% from the three-point line. Remember that last game, they were 46%. They made 19 threes. And that was the key in this game. They did an excellent job defending the three-point line against Iona.
6'10" junior forward Ashton Pankey was terrific. He was named the tournament MVP.
Well, he was the guy in this game. He dominated on both ends of the court in the paint. Defensively, he made it difficult for Iona to get anything around the basket, and then he knocked down some elbow jumpers, and then he was able to get some easy offense underneath the basket. They really had no answer for him, Iona. Ashton Pankey had an outstanding tournament.
So a year ago, the Jaspers went to the NCAA tournament and gave Louisville all it could handle. Do the Jaspers have what it takes to go to the tournament this year and pick up a win?
Absolutely, and that's the reason why I love March Madness. Anything can happen. Steve Masiello is an outstanding coach. Not a good coach, he's an outstanding coach. Good game planner. They have a lot of balance. They have some depth. I think anything can happen. In particular, if they can continue to knock down threes the way they did. They were over 40% in this game from the three-point line, and you know they're going to defend. They're an excellent defensive team. If they can continue to knock down threes, watch out. Who knows, they can pull an upset off in the NCAA tournament.
The 2015 champions of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Tournament, the Manhattan Jaspers. Rashawn Stores and company having fun tonight after knocking off Iona 79-69.
And now for the presentation of the 2015 MAAC Men's Basketball Championship Team Trophy. Accepting the trophy on behalf of Manhattan, Rashawn Stores, Donovan Cates, Ashton Pankey, and Emmy Andujar. please welcome Manhattan head coach Steve Masiello to the microphone to say a few words.
I just want to say congratulations to Iona for a terrific year. I have so much respect for them. They're a class organization. I want to thank all the players from the past, the Keith Bullocks, all the guys who have set the bar for this program, the Luis Flores, the Dave Holmes, the Jason Hoovers, the Justin Marshalls, the guys that have laid the foundation so we could follow this. Everyone knows what we've been through on the basketball court, but no one knows what we've been through behind the scenes. I want to thank the administration, President O'Donnell, Rick Satterley, Dr. Bill Clyde, Noah Lefevre, for everything they have done. But this championship this year is dedicated to my players. Jasper Nation, the 6th borough, we would not be here without you. 6th borough, where are you, 6th borough? 6th borough, where are you?
6th borough, baby. Let's go. 6th borough, baby.
I want to thank the Jasper Band, the best band in the land. The Jasper Dancers, where are you? Where are my cheerleaders? Where are my cheerleaders? I said it on senior night, and I got to say it again. You don't understand what we've been through off the court personally, as a team, with our families. The bond we have will never be broken for life. For life. These seniors believed in a coach who never coached a game, in a program that wasn't where it should be. They took faith, they have high character, and they did things the right way. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you support us as we continue this journey. Thank you, Jasper Nation. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Manhattan College Jaspers, the 2015 MAAC